Hi everybody. The streaming world, the gaming streaming world, has been turned upside down in the last couple of weeks by Mixer shutting down and kind of morphing into Facebook gaming over the next few weeks, and of course Dr. Disrespect being banned from Twitch, one of their biggest and most popular streamers. So I think it's a good time to kind of reflect on this, and if you didn't know some of this stuff already, what it means for you, what you might need to learn, and what you need to understand about this wild west frontier that is streaming and gaming content creation. So, as we know, Mixer is going to be shutting down in a couple of weeks' time, and the writing was always on the wall for Mixer, wasn't it, over the last few months. All you had to do was just go to the Mixer homepage, see how many people were watching the games, then go to Twitch's homepage and see there was an order of magnitude difference in the performance of the two platforms. Now, I must admit, I didn't think they were going to shut Mixer down, because it has been and still is such an integral part of the Xbox console menu system. When you want to share and you want to do this, Mixer is there, and I couldn't really believe that they're going to substitute that with Facebook, because lots of people are really like, do I really want to start streaming to something like Facebook gaming? Do I want to link Facebook with my gaming stuff? I know I don't particularly want to, so it doesn't really particularly appeal to me. But despite these reservations, despite the fact that we thought, no, Microsoft are a massive company, that they won't just shut it down. They are. Mixer's gone, or it's going to go, and all your streams are going to go to Facebook gaming. Yes, so the first lesson, the first thing to learn is that you have to be very careful about creating a community and an income in lots of instances based around somebody else's business. Because Mixer was Microsoft's business. They weren't making any money out of it. It wasn't expanding in the way they wanted to. So despite the fact that lots of people probably made enough money to have a reasonable living out of it, they shut it down. So the way to deal with this, one of the ways to deal with this, is to have many other, or a few other ways of sharing your content. So especially if you're a streamer, I recommend you go over to Twitch. But definitely what you should be doing is you should be doing your streaming to Twitch, or maybe you'll decide to go to Facebook gaming, but then you want to export your content back to YouTube. Now, we don't think Twitch is ever going to go out of business. Pretty sure YouTube, supported by Google, isn't going to go out of business. But if we spread our assets around, if we make sure that we've got content in more than one place, then we're not completely relying on one platform. The other reason is not because YouTube is going to go away or Twitch is going to go away, but what could go away is our account. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more when I just talk about Dr. Disrespect's ban. But the idea of there could be a technical problem. You could have a technical problem where for some reason you can't get access to your account anymore, or it gets deleted in some big glitch and it's gone. So that's why you should have more than one repository for your content. And again, as far as streamers go, I believe the way to do it is to stream to Twitch and then export back to YouTube. Another good way that you can kind of spread your risks, if you like, is to look at something like Patreon. Now, Patreon is a way where people can pay you small sums of money every month to support you as a creator. I use it in a limited extent, really, to give people access to my DayZ private servers. But if you're building up a following on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook gaming, you could have a call to action and say, look guys, if you fancy buying me a coffee every month, a couple of bucks for a coffee, come and join the Patreon, come and subscribe. And again, that's another way of making sure that you're not relying on one particular platform. Something that you may well not know about, that lots of gaming producers definitely don't know about, especially on Twitch, is the fact that you don't own the content you create. You don't own the rights to it if you're making gameplay type videos. The reason being is that the game itself is copyrighted by the publishers and the developers. So they own the footage that you are creating because you're using copyrighted and trademarked assets, sounds and music and stuff like that. And in fact, in the early days of the internet, and right up till fairly recently, actually, this is a story I'm showing you from 2017 where PewDiePie was had videos, gameplay videos, taken down because he was being a bit of an arse and saying some rough things. So a gaming company said, no, we don't like you, so we're going to take your videos off. We're going to use a copyright way of doing it. And in the early days of gaming, on YouTube especially, all the big developers and publishers didn't really have a clue, and especially firms like Nintendo as well. They would more than happily give people copyright strikes and DCMAs and get content pulled down where people were recording gameplay. Because they saw it as people spoiling the stories in video games, and they thought if people watched other people playing video games, they wouldn't be likely to buy the video game themselves. We now know that the reverse of that is true. These streams to Twitch or YouTube videos, they are amazing adverts for good video games. Obviously, if a game's crap, people are going to know about it, but it's a good video game. People see someone playing it and they want to play it themselves. But always bear in mind that you don't own the copyright to that stuff. And I especially come across it in things like the Star Wars games. If you create a Star Wars game video and there's some Star Wars music in, there will be a copyright claim against the video, normally because of the music, and it will mean you either have to take the music off or you have to remove monetization, and the monetization goes to somewhere else. But who's to say that in the future companies could come along, and this is the way it often works, and this is the way it has happened on Twitch recently as well. Companies come along and they go, actually, we know we can make money by claiming this content. And so what's happened on Twitch is, for years and years and years, streamers would just play proper music, proper top 40 music in the background of their streams while they're playing games. And now the companies are coming along and saying, no, you're not paying us any royalties for using that music. And they're right, they're not. You haven't been able to do this on YouTube for a long time. And so you've got to get rid of that content, or got rid of that music. What happens on YouTube is that companies come along and they go, no, it's okay. We don't want you to get rid of that video with that music on. We just want the right to put adverts on your video. And so you get companies that I'm pretty sure will buy up the rights to music, and they'll go looking for videos that they can then claim the right to put adverts on it because they own the music. Luckily on YouTube you can actually remove music. You say, no, just take the music off because I don't want some other bugger earning money off my videos. But you see how fragile the situation is with your videos. The fact that someone could come along, if you've got gameplay video, and say, actually, we own the copyright to that video. You can put it up, but we're gonna have the money from the adverts that you've created for it. You could well say a publisher starts to get into financial trouble that previously has had some really big selling games. They could then start doing that sort of thing. So just bear that in mind. So next thing. Dr. Disrespect's ban. So Dr. Disrespect, one of the biggest streamers on the planet, one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, undoubtedly one of their biggest earners in terms of bringing in subscribers, been banned. At the time of recording this video on the 1st of July, we don't know why he's been banned. But it's probably because he has violated something to do with their terms of service, and especially their community guidelines. So when you're on things like YouTube, when you're on Twitch, when you're on Facebook Gaming, you should really know what the community guidelines are so that you won't accidentally break them and then lose your channel, or lose your videos, or you lose your ability to stream to them. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd kind of finish off this video And we're going to go through, let me move my mic a little bit. We're going to go through the Twitch community guidelines, because they're similar to YouTube's. I mean, there's the terms of service as well, but that's a little bit dry. We'll go through the community guidelines. So the first part of this video was all about just understanding and accepting the fact that really the content you're creating doesn't belong to you. And it's very important that you diversify where you keep that content through Twitch and through YouTube and perhaps through Facebook Gaming, so that if one of those content platform goes away or decides that you can't make any money off it anymore, it's not a complete disaster. So, community guidelines. Let's read through some of these. At Twitch, our mission is to provide the best shared social video experience created by a growing community where creators and communities can interact safely. To achieve this goal, we ask that all users participate in such a way that promotes a friendly, positive experience for our global community. So we've got some important words there. Safely, global community. So it isn't just going to be about the rules in your country, it's going to be about the rules in other countries and how other people feel. In addition to the terms of service, we provide the following guidelines for our community. These guidelines fall under a common sense philosophy and apply to all user-generated content and activity on our services. And this will be updated regularly. To protect the integrity of our community, as the provider of the service, we at Twitch reserve the right to suspend any account at any time for any conduct that we determine to be inappropriate or harmful. Such actions may include removal of content, a strike on the account, and or suspension of accounts. So they're basically saying that, if you do something that they don't agree with, they can take away your account. So breaking the law. So don't do anything illegal on stream. Same goes for, say, YouTube. Don't upload videos of illegal activity. This is where Dr. Disrespect got into trouble when he was filming, a vlog, and that he went into a public toilet, or a toilet in some sort of facility in some sort of convention, and carried on filming. And that is pretty sure it was a felony offence in the state that he was in to film inside a public toilet. Now, he probably didn't know that. I don't think he was doing it deliberately. But, that was breaking the law. So they're saying you could get banned for that. Suspension evasion. So what they're saying is if you have been suspended and you come in with a different account or different names, you can be indefinitely suspended. Self-destructive behaviour. Any activity that may endanger your life or lead to your physical harm. Suicide threats, intentional physical trauma, illegal use of drugs, illegal or dangerous consumption of alcohol, and dangerous or distracted driving. We do not make exceptions for self-destructive behaviour performed as a stunt or a gag made in jest. So it doesn't mean, even if you're joking about this stuff, even if it's meant as entertainment, you could be banned. Violent. So don't threaten anybody. Say you're playing a game, a multiplayer, and you get really angry with the opponents, and you say something silly. Hateful conduct and harassment. Hateful conduct is any conduct or activity that promotes, encourages, or facilitates discrimination, denigration, objectification, harassment, or violence based on race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, disability, or serious medical condition, or veteran status, and is prohibited. Any hateful conduct is considered a zero tolerance violation. We will take action on all accounts associated with such conduct with a range of enforcement actions. So remember the language there. We will take action on all accounts associated with such conduct. So what they're saying there is if you do stuff off Twitch, that could lead you to getting banned on Twitch. And some of those issues they said before, people you might be involved in a discussion about it, say on something like Twitter or Facebook. That gets passed on to Twitch and you lose your account. We prohibit using Twitch to facilitate hateful conduct or harassment, whether the targets are on or off Twitch. Communities or organisations that do so are not allowed to use our services. So if Twitch decides that you're part of a community or organisation that does that sort of thing, and remember it's their decision, then you could be in trouble. Unauthorised sharing of private information, impersonation, spams, scams, and other malicious conduct. Nudity, pornography, and other sexual content, obviously, but it could also be accidental. extreme violence, gore, and other obscene content. And plenty of video games are pretty violent, aren't they? Intellectual property rights. So again, this is all about, music, other people's content, using pirated content, playing music that you don't own. That's a big one. And content labeling. So again, you've got to be accurate with what you say. Cheating as well. Closed alphas, betas, and pre-release games. So they're saying, respect what the publisher wants. So you see that there's quite a few points just in the community guidelines, and we haven't even gone through the terms of service there, that could easily get you into trouble. Now, you may also say, well, I'm only a small streamer. That'll never happen to me. Sure, it might not happen to you, but who would have thought it would have happened to Dr. Disrespect, the biggest streamer on their platform? Who would have thought that Mixer, the core video game sharing experience for the Xbox One, would be shut down and it'd be pushed off Facebook Gaming? So you just don't know about these things. So once again, make sure with your content you try and put it on as many platforms as possible. Be well aware that you don't own the rights to your content, because all the copyright of everything in it, apart from your voice, belongs to someone else. And always be aware of the rules of the service that you're putting your content on, so that you don't become afoul of it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hopefully that's a bit of a wake-up call to people. I don't want to alarm you. I just want to, it's just all about the facts. And if you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And I'll see you again soon.